I would whack that thing hard, and then I'd get into the ground, and then as I got into the ground, I'd try to rip the carpet out. So if I go,
there you go.
Everybody, thanks for watching. I'm here in the garage of Dr. Scott Lynn. Put your hand up, Scott, and wave. And he's behind the computer here because what we have here is really cool. Scott's been hosting a lot of really awesome discussions about the golf swing and about the ground forces in the golf swing. And recently he's also had a lot of big coaches come out here and bring their students here to this garage to work on these things. So below me right here is a swing catalyst force plate that measures the pressure into the ground, and then it also measures all the 3D forces into the ground. So the horizontal, the rotational, and the vertical forces into the ground. And then we have the Foresight GC Quad launch monitor. Scott's on there here. I've been on Dr. Scott's swing catalyst before with him before, and it's something I've never really been able to move the needle on, and I just kind of accepted, okay, that's part of my swing. I'm not going to be able to fix that. But we tried some things and also brought in this training aid that I've been using, and we tried some other things that Scott has been doing with rubber bands and other stuff, and we actually got it to move in a real positive direction. And it wasn't just an aesthetic change or in the graphs. We made the ball speed go up with, like, you know, now the effort I'm putting into it is actually making the ball speed go up rather than that. So let's go over and check out these. First, let's say hi to Scott, so we see your face.
I think we should load up the last one from these things. Remember that was the one where we were,
oh yeah,
that's what I was just
so we in an earlier video, you guys will try to, we did a testing of this Lila Exogen. These are weights that you can put these Velcro weights onto the different segments of your body.
So this was your post testing with those things where you got up, your speed got up quite a bit.
Yeah, so I was around 80 with an 8 iron around 88 and a half miles an hour, and then did all this testing with these segmented weights, and I went to about just around 92 or something.
92, but
yeah.
This was the one where you could see that your peak vertical force in your normal swings here was way after the ball's gone.
So Scott, I'm looking, if hover your mouse on the vertical force here, what should we see? So where's...
Let me set these little triangles so we can see. So here's the...
that's impact right there.
Impact, and this is the top impact in here. So you can see that your vertical force is is after impact. So what we know from Isaac Newton is forces need to come before motion. So if we're going to use that force to speed the club up, obviously it has to happen a lot before you hit the ball, or you're losing some, or you're putting energy into the system after the ball's gone.
Right. So what would you see in like a tour player for where their peak vertical force would happen?
Let me show you.
So Scott has a catalog of a lot of different tour players here. This is Tommy Fleetwood.
So Tommy Fleetwood hitting a 6 iron, which is pretty similar to the club you're hitting. You can see he reaches peak vertical before the club even gets to parallel in the downswing. So he's just past left arm parallel. And so that is his peak vertical force, where your peak vertical force in your initial swing.
So he's getting 200% of his vertical force, and he's getting it
early,
like way back.
And yours is getting 140% or something like that, and it's happening once the ball's already gone. So it's doing you absolutely no good.
Yeah.
In terms of speeding up the club and gaining or getting club head speed and churning that energy obviously into the ball.
Okay, so we'll get into what we did to change this, but let's zip through the process here and go to one of the afters.
Okay.
So and then this is interesting as well. 45 pounds of max torque as well. So that's very low.
45 foot-pounds of torque, yeah. So
yeah.
That is that, and the relative torque for your body is 0.73. So both of these are pretty low. You can see they're kind of halfway up to the tour average. So then we worked on some things, and we got you to here. And so now you can see the club speed's up.
So yeah, so I went from 90 to 97.2 in the club head speed.
Right, and you can see the torque value is well timed. It's about left arm parallel is where we want it, and it's 66, so it went up almost a third.
So from 44 to 66.
Yeah, so it's almost a third extra. So
And
30%
from
gain.
0.73 force factor, I don't know what that is, to 1.08.
Yeah, so again, it's a 30% gain because I mean the force factor is just a relative torque value, and your mass didn't change. So these two things should have changed equal percentages. So
Timing wise, in the vertical forces.
timing wise, in the vertical forces where we think we've achieved the best, because you can see now you hit your peak vertical, which is about the same, 145. It is actually exactly the same as previously, but now it's happening just past where Tommy Fleetwood's is. So it's just past left arm parallel before club parallel, and so that's where we want it to happen because you can actually use it to speed up the club.
Okay, so you're saying before I would get all my force, but the club would be out here, well past the ball.
Yeah.
And now that I have my force happening earlier, it can actually be used into the ball.
Yeah, you can use it to speed up the club, and then we actually saw that. So you can see the 97.2 here, club head speed, as compared to this one, which was 90.6. And you can see the comparison again for the torques. 45, much smaller, and then about the same magnitude of vertical, but way too late.
Right.
The ball's gone, so it's no use to you there.
So step in there, Scott, and talk about how it was kind of this recentering idea, because talk about like what Cameron Champ does normally, and then how that kind of started us on the path to figuring out, okay, like how we could get more vert force and sooner.
Sure. I mean, I think one thing that you were doing was having that knee really collapse in and then going way out over here, which gave you a whole lot of horizontal force, but is going to delay when you had your vertical forces. And so I tried to get you a little less collapse in, and so the knee kind of went forward and down. That didn't work originally for you. You didn't like that too much.
Yeah, like staying on that left, because we did a test on your plate, and it showed that I could use my left leg for plenty of force. Right.
But you needed to load into it, so then you got this out of your
Trunk.
car there, your trunk, whatever. And so you would go off the ball, and as soon as this would hit here, you would recenter and load left into that front leg, which I think got that, so then it didn't have as much of this lateral movement of the knee joint, which allows you to produce more vertical force. And then we worked on some torque drills, which I really think helped, because the torque and the vertical can be used to decelerate that horizontal force.
Yeah, so let's show that, because that was really cool. For the torque force, if you grab your rubber band,
Sure.
if you grab your tubing or whatever. So what Scott asked me to do was put this behind, because I have in the TPI screening and stuff, I actually have the ability to create a lot of rotational force, like quite a lot, but I just don't use it really almost at all in my swing.
Right.
So this is something to kind of unlock that.
So like this, and then you rotate back.
Okay, so I go back
Turn
to
back,
here.
Okay, and so now I pull this band here, and he has to push through me and push that backwards. Good. So what this has to do is he has to push his foot towards me, so that I can shove that hip backwards and create that. And you see how his left leg doesn't get into that bow position. It locks
That way
up.
wouldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. Right, so getting more of that through impact. Perfect. And then you actually, that worked for a bit, and then you actually thought about the Matt Wolf video, right? Just to try to tear the carpet off.
Oh, right, yeah, so the carpet that's on this swing catalyst, if I pan down just a little bit. Oh, no, we can say the carpet that's on it, because at one point I was just kind of going like this. But yeah, when he actually, there's a video that Scott has of Matt going like this, and then he goes like that, and the actual top of this thing.
Yeah, you'll see it do this. It goes like that.
Yeah.
So he rips it right off, and which is really hard to do. I mean,
Yeah.
if you try it, like the only way I can do it is if I run and like jump at it.
Right. So I'm trying to get this carpet ripped that way when
Yeah.
I was swinging. So everything together. I don't know if you can see my thwacker here, but everything together.
That's
was,
actually a scientific name for it.
The
The
exactly. So when I would thwack this thing, I would whack that thing hard, and then I'd get into the ground, and then as I got into the ground, I'd try to rip the carpet out.
Yeah.
So it would go like that. The final thing that took away that second bump a little bit, that was kind of cool, that's something to note, is that when I actually kind of followed the ball,
Right.
like at first I was doing some extreme ones, you know, to really, but that kind of took off that second bump a little bit.
Yeah. So you'll find a lot of people that have been told to keep their head down,
Oh, yeah, like,
and they just kind of stay down and they don't get their vertical force till way after that second bump.
right.
And a good cue is to kind of think of an Annika Sorenstam or like David Duval type swing where you just kind of release all your energy.
Right. So if I go,
There you go. And it actually works really well in a practice swing, but then when you focus on the ball, it didn't.
right. Yeah, as far as like that. So
Yeah.
so it's just a little bit of freedom to be able to let it go at some
Right.
point. But yeah, I did have to kind of be looking at it.
Right.
So let's hit one live.
All right.
If we can recapture one, Scott.
Recapture your magic.
Grab the magic again, yeah.
All right. Pressure's on.
No pressure. I know the editor. Yeah, you guys can see me. Okay, so what I'm doing is get the ball set up here. It's
The thwacker in place.
yep. So I'm going boom, boom, boom. Yep, and it feels kind of like a little bit of a dam. Here into the ground and through.
And that squat, I think, is what really gets you to your vertical. When you really
Okay.
get low.
And I go here.
You make transition. Yeah.
Yeah, the lower I can get,
Yeah.
the more I can get out of the ground. Ready?
Yeah.
Well, hit it good. 124 ball.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah, 96.8 on the club.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And that one, you know, I was trying to hit it solid for the video, so I didn't.
Shank it into the camera.
Well, yeah, right. No, so I didn't totally just like thin it or whiff it.
Right.
So
Well, then let's have
probably won't see the forces be as extreme, but we
96,
should see
that's
them.
almost 97.
Mhm. All right, forces loading here.
Oh, wow.
We don't see much of a double bump there
No, not at all.
at the end. That's that. So folks, so that's the. Usually I would have an
Right.
extreme double bump in the
It looks
vertical
like the
force.
timing is pretty.
So I'm getting into the ground there. You can see
Good.
pretty well. So talk us through this, Scott.
Okay, let's see. So this is, so you can see your horizontal force has also changed from like a really steep bump to kind of like it kind of cruises for a while.
Yeah.
Because you get into the right and then you kind of drift instead of having that massive push. Which
That
is-
lunge towards the target.
Yeah, towards the target. And then your torque ramps up to here. You didn't quite get as much torque on that one, so we lost a little bit of torque, 46, but that's okay. And then the vertical gets up just shy of where it did before, but the timing is just so much better now.
Yeah.
So 138, but this is right where Tommy Fleetwood had it in terms of the downswing. And you did actually lose completely that second bump, so to me that's a much more efficient swing. And your sequence is really good, so you have your peak horizontal happening way out here. So that's over really early, then your peak torque happens second, and finally we ramp up to that peak vertical happening right in the perfect timing. And so that's, if you can cruise at 96.8 and 124 ball speed with an 8-iron, that's pretty solid.
All right, Scott. So Swing Catalyst is where? Swingcatalyst.com. Is that it?
Yeah, swingcatalyst.com. There's a bunch of educational stuff and webinars and stuff on there that we did during the quarantine, so you can learn a lot of stuff about all the smart people that are using it and making some different decisions, making people better. I mean, it's a pretty powerful tool.
Yeah, and that's it right there. Get a shot of it. I think I had talked to you at one point. I'm gonna talk to him again. I had talked to you at one point, getting some kind of Be Better Golf
I believe
incentive
that
or deal
Yeah, it's set up. I think we're
Yeah.
gonna get some kind of deal. So yeah, we'll have to revisit that. I know it was set up. So there's
for
some-
teachers or dedicated golfers or
Yeah.
whoever that's interested in getting a Swing Catalyst product. That there's a special Be Better Golf promo code for it.
Right.
Scott was the host of these really cool webinars that you can see on that website as well. And that's it. All right, and also follow Dr. Scott on his Instagram, which is you got to put up more stuff. But you put up stuff on your story a lot, but
Yeah,
not a lot of
not
posts.
much.
Yeah, all right.
I gotta do more.
Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. Hit the subscribe button. Let us know what you think. Bye. All right, that was good.
All right.
I like that last cap.